Have you ever had the feeling of a tightening in your chest and for the life of you, you can't understand why you want to cry? That's how I'm currently feeling. Ideally, I wouldn't want to film right now. Majority of the time, I wouldn't want to film because my primary mode of being is silence. Like, I'm not sitting talking to a camera for most of the month. At most, I do a lot of voice journaling. So this is me stepping out of my comfort zone. This is me showing up. I don't feel depressed. There is a lack of sun, but I don't feel depressed. I feel neutral, but I feel like my soul is aching for something. And I'm not sure what it's aching for. Is it longing to be out the season that God has me in? Is it longing to do the things I want to do? Is it reminiscing on all the amazing times I had before this time? I don't know where my soul is feeling. I don't know if it's the Holy Spirit crying out for something, you know. I'm real quick to see why God is displeased with me, to see what in my heart that I'm skipping over that I need to heal on and get better in. But right now, I'm finding myself in a state of constantly questioning why? And it's reminding me of Job. I just don't want to get in a space of complaining because there's nothing to complain about. Everything's going good, copacetic. Is it really seasonal depression? It's not giving me that though. I read the book of Job during my 3-day fast, and I was geeked when I read the beginning of Job because I saw the similarities between him and I. Only in the beginning, until he started complaining. I saw him as a thinker, and I'm a thinker. I'm like, okay, I can vibe with this. But the more he complained and didn't see the lesson within his complaining, it got to me. I'm like, how can you be such a thinker, but you can't think yourself into the lesson? The thing, Elihu was around to pretty much correct his friends for condemning him and put Job on blast for his constant complaints and no type of appreciation for what God really is and what God is doing and how God is always good. Submitting to God is a flesh. But is it easy? Not at all, because He will reveal to you the ways in which you're stubborn. And God is definitely showing me how I'm stubborn and just wanting control. Control is one of the things I've been working on letting go of more and more, because I came from a place of always being in control. I would have full authority over going where I wanted to go, doing what I wanted to do. I was a freelance traveling tattoo artist, so there was no fixed schedule to me. I didn't have to be in Miami. I love just jumping on a whim and leaving Miami at any time. And usually someone will reach out to me and be like, yo, are you in Miami? I'm like, nah, because I don't like Miami. I'm not the biggest fan of Miami outside of the beach. Before, I used to always revert back to why am I here, God? I didn't care for the lights and all the parties and events that Miami brings. Like, I'm over it. After you've been to so many, you're over it. And after you got a lot out of your system in your 20s, you're over it. I want to be comfortable and content with where I am and understand that there's so much that can come from this. I want to figure this all out. I honestly cannot wait to look back on these videos and see what I couldn't see now. You know, I know God is doing something now that I'm unaware of, and I'm thankful that He's teaching me something that I haven't learned yet. But I would want to know what it is now. Like, I'm so antsy in that regard. And I pray that God releases anxiousness from me, to make me anxious for nothing, to be more content. Usually I'm content, you know, with how my life is, where it's going. But I did have big escapist tendencies. I would escape simply to not get hurt. And in doing so, I wouldn't learn the lessons I needed to learn to grow me. So now I'm stuck at a mode where I haven't learned as much as I should have. And it feels like God is giving me a crash course of all the things I was avoiding. Maybe that's one of the reasons my soul just crying on the inside, because it's like, why did you wait so long? It's not like I can't kick fear in the face and do things, but if I can avoid it altogether, I'll avoid it. I definitely have some avoidance tendencies. I can be on the extreme of approaching a situation and seeming very confrontational, or just avoiding confrontation altogether. I'm trying to find the balance, and I pray that God helps me figure out the balance. Holy Spirit, help me figure out the balance with confrontation and avoiding. But everything's a learning curve. Each person isn't the same, and everybody should be dealt with differently. And I wish I just understood what is the basis to dealing with people in that regard too. I'm so excited. In a decade from now, when I look back on this, I'm like, look at her. If she only knew. If you made it this far, thank you for checking out the video. More to come. And this is the result of not following God.